Welcome to Knife Thoughts. This video is going to be an unboxing, and as you can see, it is a knife from Jack Wolf Knives. So this is the most recent knife coming out from Jack Wolf Knives here in July of 2024, and it's one I'm excited about. It's the Benny. So the Benny is going to be a modern or one-hand opening version of the Benny's clip, which is what I'm going to use to open this box. And when Ben asked me, he said 2 guesses for what the next knife coming out was. My first guess was actually a canine Jack, modernized version, but this was my second guess. So I'm excited about this. I think that this Benny's clip, is just super well suited to be turned into a one-hand opening modern knife. It's one of the larger feeling knives in the Jack Wolf Knives lineup, just because it is, a relatively tall handle and blade. And the Benny's clip is based off of the Lanny's clip. If you're interested in that, definitely go watch my full review on this. But it's a pattern that has been done in kind of modernized versions by a couple companies. So I'm really interested to see Ben's version, Jack Wolf Knives version. So let's go ahead and open this up here and take the packing slip out. And here is the box. So as usual, a nice kind of matte box with some embossing. If you haven't read this yet, definitely pause the video and read this. But then you'll see on the bottom here, the Benny, and I opted for the Fat Carbon Mars Valley. So they actually have used this before. I had forgotten, but they used it on the Venom Jack, I believe is what Ben told me. But I don't have an orange Jack Wolf Knives knife, so I wanted to check this out. Thought it looked like it was gonna be really cool. And here is the tube. So these tubes are really nice. They're metal tubes. You can see it says which one is in here on the bottom, which is nice. If you have a collection of these, you can differentiate the tubes because the art is the same on all of the tubes. And there is Ben in his skeleton form, kind of forming a Hadouken type chi blast with the Benny outline in there. So really cool. No Jack, aka of Jack Wolf, on this art, but really cool. And you've got the Pog with the same art, always a nice touch. And then these, oh, don't want to lose that. I dropped the clip filler tab. So you do have the option to take the clip off and fill the hole from the clip with that filler if you don't want to use the clip. And I think, a good portion of people don't use the clips on these. They're certainly very carryable without the clip, just like a slip joint is. And then you've got the stickers, and I remember I at first always had trouble getting these out, and I got it out. So you can see Straight Fire. It's got his Pit Vipers. I don't know if it's that brand, not associated with that brand necessarily, but Pit Viper style sunglasses on that Ben often wears. And then you've got your microfiber cloth. No slip. I might have mentioned that already, I'm not sure. With these clip knives. Actually, one of them did come with a slip, but it was an accident. But they normally don't. But let's open this up here, and I want to try to make it so you can see it right when I open it. And here it is. Look at that. Really cool color on that. It's a mix of orange and red, which makes sense with the Mars Valley if you think of Mars, the red planet. And wow, that is really cool looking. You can see it's got black DLC clip, hardware, as in screws, and backspacer. The bolster though is just the stonewash, I think. The tumbled in some way titanium, and the blade is not coated. I actually was thinking it might be cool for if the blade had been coated, but the blade is a machine satin finish on the grinds. Let's open it. Why not, talk about it while I'm have it open while I'm talking about it. Oh, that's nice. Really nice front flipper action. But there's a bug coming in. As I was mentioning, the grinds are this machine satin or belt satin that Jack Wolf Knives often does. And so you get those vertical lines, and then it's got kind of a light stone wash type finish on the flats. So really nice S90V. This is a hefty looking blade. So Jack Wolf Knives, one of my favorite things, and I'll show you this on the Benny's clip. Well, actually the Benny's clip is one that has a relatively thicker tip. But they all have a really nice hollow grind. And so, they come down to a really nice thin edge. Now the Benny's clip, it's a heftier knife, it's a thicker knife, so it comes to a relatively thick tip there. But I'll show you a comparison. This feels like a hefty, like full-size knife. So you can see that the Benny is significantly thicker towards the tip there than the Benny's clip. So you're gonna have a relatively thick edge at the tip. Let me show you that again. Relatively thick edge at the tip, if you can see that. But then, it still comes down to a nice grind. I'm definitely going to carry and put this to use. And so make sure you are subscribed. Click the bell and select all so you know when I post the full review for this knife, which I definitely will do. So make sure you are following along with Knife Thoughts to see the full review, because I will definitely carry and use this knife, put it to use, and see how the cutting compares to the other Jack Wolf knives, which cut super well. But it does feel like a significant knife. It's not the locking versions are bigger than the slip joint versions. And again, you'll be able to see better comparisons in my full review. But the locking versions are bigger, but it's not a huge knife. So I actually also have a Sebenza. This is a large Sebenza in my pocket. So you can see the Benny is smaller than the large Sebenza by a good bit. But it feels like a really solid knife, like, a full-size knife. This could be your only knife, or your main knife, your big knife, whatever. Mine locks up relatively early, maybe 30%, towards 40, which is what Ben said they were locking up. And let's see the action. Super smooth. It's got that big heavy blade, so it is going to drop down nicely. Tip sits well within the frame and is perfectly centered as far as I can see. Pretty much perfect, maybe slightly towards the clip side, but I'm talking like a millimeter. In fact, a good comparison would be the Sebenza that I have here, which is also slightly off to the clip side. So that's I think the type of quality control that you're getting. These are super nicely made knives. I wanted to, oh man, super well fitted too. The fitment between the covers and the liners there, as well as the covers and the bolsters, is really nicely done. It's got those three threads or lines, which is kind of something that Ben has been trying to do on all of his models, and just super nice looking. Really like this color. I wanted to do also the slow roll. So you've got slow roll. It sits relatively deep in the frame, so it doesn't sit very high above the frame, so you can definitely get to it. But I feel like I probably will prefer the front flipper over that. And then the Spidey or middle finger flick, same deal. It sits pretty deep in there, but you can do it. I know I saw Ben doing it pretty fluidly. So I'm sure it's something where it just takes a little bit of getting used to where to place your hand. There we go. So so sometimes I find when you have a knife, it actually can be easier to open them when you just naturally pull it out of your pocket and go for it. It's not a good example, but I think you need to get a little lower on that long pull to get a good bite on it. No blade play, super solid, and again, very, very, very smooth. So really, really cool. I'm really excited. There we go. Really excited to put this one to use. So another really cool knife from Jack Wolf Knives. This feels like a very significant, hefty knife. That's the main thing I would say, in addition to the cool look of the Mars Valley, is that it's just a really solid, hefty feeling knife. So this is the Benny. These are coming out, oh man, I don't want to get this date wrong. I don't know why I feel like I'm not confident. July 12th. So this is the 4th. I'm doing this on Independence Day. So hopefully it'll go up on Independence Day, and happy Independence Day to everyone in the US. Hope you have a wonderful holiday. So it might be the 11th, July 11th. I felt like it was the 12th, but it's a Friday. Anyway, probably don't need to figure that out. I can just put it in the description. But thank you for watching. As always, thank you to Ben, Donnie, everyone at Jack Wolf Knives for sending this knife along for review. I'm super excited to put this one to use. And again, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, click the bell and select all so you know when I post new videos. But also go to knifethoughts.com. I'm going to be doing more there. So not just articles, but kind of video roundups. So bringing all of the videos together that I've posted in a week or 2 weeks, you know, however frequently makes sense. Sending those out so you can make sure you get them, as well as lots of other stuff. So make sure you go to knifethoughts.com and subscribe via email. And last but not least, as always, don't forget to go out and do good.